Man, what a game. What a game. You're listening to the Urban Sports Scenes NBA Finals postgame show. In game one of the NBA Finals, the Indiana Pacers take game one against the Oklahoma City Thunder, 111 to 110. Big shot by Halliburton to win the game, basically. I am Wole, and I'm joined with my guy, my homie, one of my best friends in life, Ray Jeezy. What's going on, dog?
What's up, brother? The resilience of the Pacers that came through yet again. And OKC's a better team. I think we all know that. But at the same
Yeah,
time, you got to close out games. Experience is key. The
yeah.
Pacers don't have the greatest experience, but they had enough of what they had all playoffs. And again, it's that resilience word. It's crazy because my takeaways were OKC, the way they play defense, they're a better team. But we're going to get into all that. I'm just saying,
Yeah, but
really
we'll
good
get
game for
yeah.
hoop heads. I'm good with it. I don't know if the public is going to really gravitate towards this series. We're going to see.
We're gonna see.
I've been interested in the ratings the whole time.
But we're gonna get all into that before we talk about all that. Let's knock out some particulars. Hey, you can check out our website, which is urbansportscene.com. Again, that is urbansportscene.com. You can subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. You can also hit us up on our socials, which is on Twitter at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene, and also like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Also, join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Just search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right, Ray, let's get right into it. You talked about it. This Pacers team showed resilience. You know what I mean? The first three quarters were not going their way, but just talk about it, bro. Like, just talk about what the Pacers did taking game one.
Again, they never give up.
Yeah.
They continue to play because I put it out there on Twitter. I thought OKC, as I mentioned, was good defensively, better defense. I mean, we already know that. I feel like OKC has guys that can go out and get a bucket as opposed to the Pacers. They have to play as a team. OKC plays great as a team. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
But they got guys that can put it on the floor and they can get a basket without necessarily needing their teammates to set screens or to put them in the right position. They just got guys that can put on the floor and hoop. I mean, obviously, SGA is the main guy. But you mentioned it before we came on. It's having a killer instinct. And I think OKC lacked that tonight. They felt as though they were at home. They felt comfortable with what they do. And they felt like the Pacers were going to eventually bend. They were going to give in, but they didn't. And it just came down to who wanted it more. I believe OKC, like I said, checks every box. More talented, probably deeper. And still, look at what happened. The Pacers pull it out and steal the game at the end. And now, who's going to be the mentally tougher team? I think we got to get the edge to the Pacers.
Yeah, my man George said, oh no, I'm not gonna read that one. He said the Pacers stole that, absolutely pinched it. Tyrese Halliburton, you're now up there with the greatest robbers of all time, Bonnie and Clyde, Ned Campbell, Ma Baker's gang, Tyrese Halliburton. He said also OKC basically led by 9-13 for 2+ quarters. How did the Pacers steal it in the fourth quarter? Totally agree. So my thing is, like, I think you play with I'm gonna say this: you playing with your food. When you play with your food, this is what you get. It's more like, I know you're talking about toughness, but I felt like there are bad shots taken by this team when they felt like they got too comfortable. Like, I'm gonna be real with you, they got real too comfortable. Because at the end of the, like, if you look at the first three quarters, I was out watching it with a friend, and I was saying to myself, like, yo, it's like it's a 13 point game, but at the same time, it felt like a 30-point lead because it just felt like the Pacers, the Thunder can get any shot they wanted. You know what I mean? They get any shot they want. They could defend any which, and they defended well and whatnot. But when you keep, which we all know it's in basketball, if you're supposed to blow a team out and you keep them close enough, it's gonna bite you in the butt down the road. You know what I mean? So, like, I felt like even Shea at the end of the game when he had that shot, they like kind of clinched. He missed that. That's a shot that he makes normally. He had shots like Shea. No, granted, like, he had a great game scoring wise, but he got to his spot pretty easily. I'm gonna be honest with you, to his spots pretty easy and didn't close the deal. So to me, like he got to take some ownership into that, because those shots he normally makes. And I'm not talking about threes. I'm talking about getting the mid-range, getting those shots in the mid-range area. He was missing those shots easily, point blank shots. So, like, there's some onus on that. Obviously, everybody knows who watches this show. I love Chet Holmgren. He didn't play. I thought he played soft. I thought Miles Turner outplayed him, which I didn't think Miles Turner had the greatest postseason. He outplayed him, and I think that's a match we got to like start to pay attention to, like the Miles Turner Chet Holmgren matchup, because to me this is the best game I've seen Miles Turner play throughout the postseason, because this team needed him to perform. He performed. He made big threes down the stretch. He played big. He finished in the paint. He played big in terms of on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, Siakam is consistent. Siakam has been their best player throughout this postseason. Like even getting offensive rebounds, putbacks, key timely shots. He's been their best player. So even Obi Toppin stepped up. I think he had like 17 points. He stepped up too as well. So this team, the Pacers played a great team basketball game. So I'm not taking nothing away from the Pacers. But on the flip side, if I'm OKC, I'm like, to your point, Ray, you're right. We got to close things up. We also got to play smarter basketball. We can't like just be content, think we're the better team. We got to turn up. Like we got to turn up and play solid basketball because this Pacers team, as we see it, they're not going to quit. Like they're not gonna fall down. They're not gonna be like, you're the better team, we're gonna bow down. They're not gonna bow down to you. So they expect to win this championship. They got to start playing this team and treating this team like this team is championship contenders, because the Pacers are championship contenders.
25 turnovers for the Pacers, only 7 for OKC.
Yeah.
OKC 39 field goals, Indiana 39 field goals. Indiana shot a slightly better percentage, but the biggest thing is assists. 24 assists for the Pacers, 13 for OKC. Again, they played as a team because they don't have guys that can go one-on-one like OKC has. So that's my biggest takeaway. I said my prediction. I said barring injuries, I'd like OKC in 5. Still not out the realm of possibility. If somebody's gonna win 4 straight, it's gonna be OKC in my opinion. Yeah. But the Pacers, like I said, I think they now have the mental edge, regardless of if people feel like that's relevant or not. It's a big deal because they're confident. And I think once you get a team confident, it's hard to break their will, especially let's just say they drop game 2. Oh, well, they already stole home court. We're going back home. They're excited about it. You know the format of the finals. I think it bodes well for the Pacers. Like I said, I'm not sure necessarily if OKC is a weak team. I feel like they're confident no matter what, no matter where they play.
They're weak.
Neither one is going to break. It's just a big learning point for the Oklahoma City Thunder as such a young team. Again, youngest team in the league, younger than some college teams. They're going to have to learn from this moment. They're going to have to.
I mean, both teams. Yeah. Go ahead, Ray. Go ahead.
No, you good.
I think both teams are pretty young. I don't look at it as like an age thing. It's not an age thing in the grander scheme of things. Like you got Siakam, who obviously has championship pedigree because what he did in Toronto. But you got, on the flip side, you got Caruso, who's won a championship with the Lakers. So it's like you got teams. In terms of this moment, they're experienced. They're all experienced. Like last year, this team got far in the postseason. They had the best record in the OKC. They had the best record in the Western Conference. They lost to the Dallas Mavericks, who made it to the championship. So they're not like, they have experience and they're tested. You know what I mean? But that's not. So I don't want to go through like they're not these like OKC's not tested. To me, looking at it in a situation, at the end of the day, it's all about playing with championship poise. You know what I'm saying? Like. You got to understand where you're at. Like you can't have guys taking wild shots in key situations or deferring. I'll give you a prime example. I saw it. Shea had, I think, no, it's facts. Shea had a one-on-one with a decent defender. I don't know who. I want to say it was Nembhard. Can't like to be sure, or maybe Siakam. But on the flip side, Holmgren had Halliburton in the post. But Shea decided to go one-on-one for himself and not feed the ball to Holmgren. You know what I'm saying? So it's like things like that. When you got a team down, like you don't want to give them any hope. So anytime you have the opportunity to score, you score. You don't play with your food. You know what I mean? Like let's put it in our, like for us as hoopers, like playing basketball, whatever. Like if it's game point, right, and you take a wild 3-point shot, you're giving the other opponent an opportunity to kind of game. If you keep taking wild 3-point shots, you're giving your opponent an opportunity to get back in the game. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like that, and when watching this game, that's what I felt like. I thought like instead of taking the smart shot down the stretch, they were starting to take, I'm confident. We're going to beat this team, so I'm going to take these shots. You know what I'm saying? Rather than taking the clear-cut best basketball shot. Like down the stretch, the game is at 8 or game is at 6. Who gets the ball? Shea should be taking the shots. It shouldn't be Jalen Williams. No knock on Jalen Williams. But Shea should be taking the shots because Shea is your money player. You shouldn't be deferring to somebody else. No, because you want to close this game out. Like as anything, we watched it at like Jordan, like down the stretch, you're getting the ball to Jordan, he's gonna close it out. You're watching Kobe, like for the Lakers, he's closing it out. Your name like LeBron, Dwayne Wade, like guys, like who you want getting the ball down to Steph Curry down the stretch. You want these dudes to close it out. You don't play with your food, like you don't play with your food down the stretch.
Well, it's gonna come
Paul
down.
Said they try to outshoot.
The biggest adjustment is you gotta play for 4 quarters, obviously.
Yeah, that's what they for.
You won more than 3 quarters of the game. You were, as you mentioned, they played a style of basketball, allowed them to in ways dominate, but it just didn't reflect on the scoreboard. Man, I like your point about age, how it doesn't necessarily play a factor because both teams are young teams. Both teams are inexperienced. You got a couple experienced guys on both sides. So this one was willed by the Pacers, but it's a long series to go. Now, something that the Pacers have showed in the past that's interesting is there are times where you think that they're going to close out a team. It looked like they were going to do that against the Knicks, and they dropped the game that you thought they should have. That's what you can do with OKC, or they can steal back sort of that mental edge. So it's going to be a chess match moving forward. In terms of the style of basketball, Wole, like I mentioned, I think hoop heads would enjoy it. You see the chat. Paul was good. George, again, guys that love the game, they're going to enjoy this matchup. They're going to enjoy the coaching styles. You got Rick Carlisle, who we all know. He's one of the OGs. He's one of the OGs in the coaching ranks.
He got the edge, bro. He got the edge.
What I'm saying? And I think that's critical. We like the older school type of coaches. A lot of people who are on the side of Tibbs, so to speak, will like a Rick Carlisle. That's all I'm saying. And I think that he comes into this matchup confident that he has the group that he can steer toward a championship just based on all that he's experienced throughout his career. He's lost and he's won at this point. He's had some dogs. I wonder how Tyrese stacks up against the other stars that he's coached, though, like a Dirk, for example. Guys that he's had that are closers. Tyrese is different. People are always arguing whether he's a superstar or not. But how can't you even consider him a superstar, consider all that he's done?
He's
emerging.
He's an emerging superstar. I think it's level. Superstar is a tough one to talk about. He's an all-star because superstars are dudes who are trained, who are popular. It's popularity too. It's a popularity-based thing too. You can't. A superstar isn't. It's not. For instance, it's like it's not just about what you do on the court. It's about are you trending? You know what I'm saying? Like does the non-basketball fan know who Tyrese Halliburton is? That makes you a superstar. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not a superstar in that aspect. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you say, all right, like, I use somebody he just beats. Like, Jalen Brunson isn't a superstar because not everybody's going to know Jalen Brunson. Superstars are people that everybody knows. You know what I'm saying? But in the basketball realm, if you're talking about in basketball, yeah, he's a superstar in the basketball realm. But I use superstars as different. Like, that's popularity and ability. That's two different things. Like, when your ability puts you on popularity status, then you're a superstar. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, if your kids didn't watch basketball, would they know who Tyrese Halliburton is? That's how you ask it. That's how you ask that question. That's a superstar.
Yeah, it's intriguing because he's a guy that was a DNP for the most part for Team USA.
Yeah.
When you compare him to the guys he played alongside, you say, yeah, of course. He's playing again. He's playing with Curry. He's playing with Ant. He's playing with AD. He's playing with LeBron. Tatum. It's no shock that he is a DNP. But now in this league where, I mean, granted Tatum was injured this season, but still he's thriving. He's thriving at a time where your big names, the Lucas of the world, the Donovan Mitchells of the world. He sent Donovan Mitchell home, even though Donovan Mitchell
not a superstar either. Not a superstar.
I'm just saying, I mean, who is a true superstar we can measure him against?
That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
You got like Steph.
People talk super, like that's the thing. It's not a knock when I say he's not a superstar. It's not a knock on him. There's limited superstars in basketball. When you say a superstar, you got to say like that person is known out the circle of basketball. Like, all right, Steph is a superstar. You know who Steph is. If I say Steph, you know who it is. If I say Tyrese, do you know who that is?
Right.
If I say Halliburton.
So it's not about his skill set. It's about just his status, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the truth. It's everything. Because like when you say superstar, that's a superstar. It transcends just on the court.
Okay,
You know
let me
what I'm saying?
rephrase then. Is he playing at a superstar level?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Like Reggie Miller is a superstar because everybody knows who Reggie Miller. I'm used to Indiana. Everybody knows. Rick Smith was a really good basketball player. He's not a superstar. Like I'm trying to think about like a player. All right, Jermaine O'Neal was. All right, I used to know Jermaine O'Neal is a and he was like that. Not a superstar.
Okay, see, I appreciate that. And here's why. We had a fun discussion / debate a couple weeks ago where we talked about if Ant were to win a championship, would he be elevated above Kevin Garnett? Kevin Garnett never won in Minnesota.
Facts.
Now we're having it. Now it's time to have that Tyrese Halliburton discussion. If he wins this chip based on what he's doing, what he's accomplished throughout this playoffs, now are we talking about placing him ahead of Reggie in terms of Pacers all-time greats? He's earned the right to have a discussion.
I'm gonna say, you know what's different though? I'm gonna be real with you. You know what's different though with him and Reggie? Reggie was been the best player. Like who was the Eastern Conference MVP of the play of the post? Who was the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals? You know who it was, right? It wasn't Halliburton. It was Siakam.
So he's not the best player on his team, you saying?
No, he wasn't the best player in the series. Like you know how it is. You know how it is. Like if we're going to give you your flowers. All right, for instance, if people hate on whoever, like the way we talk about GOATs and shit and stuff. Excuse me, I'm about to curse. Like GOATs and stuff. Like it's all about you're the best player on your squad. Like in the championship, you're the best player. Who is the best player today? He made me to win a shot. Who was the best player today between the two?
Yeah, he won the best player on the floor. Siakam.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
I agree with that. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. So Reggie's always been when we're talking about Reggie though, it's gonna be different. It's hard, right? You're right. I know you're going with it. With Reggie, he's always been in his postseason, in his prime, not old Reggie, in his prime. He's always for the Pacers. He's always been their best player.
Always been the best player. Okay.
Always been the best player.
You can't say the same about Tyrese now.
No.
You take to me though. I don't know. I guess it's a fun debate because, like, for example, it's a similar debate in Philly with AI and Barkley. A lot of people, they'll say, no, I would never put AI ahead of Barkley because of the style of basketball he played. Both of them were the best players on their team at the time, but one had a bigger impact. AI, to me, his impact was a little bit different.
He got to the finals. If Barkley didn't.
When Sir Charles goes to other franchises, he elevates them.
Yes.
Tyrese has elevated the Pacers. So has Siakam. So has Siakam. And I can't take one or the other off. I can't say take Siakam off and see if Tyrese can still have success. He can, but it's like they need each other. So
they do.
I agree. There's no touching Reggie. It's not even a discussion comparison to Ant because Ant's the best player on his team. So I think that's so we already put that to rest. Perfect.
Yeah. It's the only thing is like it's different because Siakam's won a championship and he was very influential in that championship with Toronto. Now he's over here. And since they got him, look, dude, real talk. Since they got him, they've gotten to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and they got to the NBA Finals this year. So Siakam has been the guy who's kind of trended it, helped put them over the top. It's not like they did this without Siakam. Like you get what I'm saying? Like they've gotten far when the addition of Siakam. It wasn't because Halliburton was there before Siakam. It wasn't like he was like I'm not saying Halliburton's a better basketball player than Siakam, so I'm putting that out there. So let that be understood. I'm just saying in the postseason run, you know what I'm saying? Like Siakam has been the best player for this team this postseason run. Like, don't get it like he's been the best player. Just like it's the same argument when we talked about like the reason why they was crapping on Steph for the championship, even though his stats was crazy though, he was still scoring big buckets in the NBA Finals when they gave it to Iguodala, like. You know what I'm saying? Like they crapped on him for that though, for Iguodala getting Finals MVP, not Steph. They were like, "Oh, he ain't that good. He ain't elite." You know what I'm saying? And I would say Steph did even more for his team than Halliburton did in that Finals.
Where are you going to rank Halliburton now? It's a question for the chat. I like what you said, George, about AI. There's no debating who AI was in Philly, and I totally agree with that. Yeah. No issue with that. Awesome stuff. But in terms of in your words, the clutch gene. Where's Tyrese Halliburton starting to come? You think about the Reggies, Kobe's, guys who are clutch, who hit those. Even
he's been clutch though. He's clutch.
I'll go Gilbert Arenas, guys that we see who have the knack to hit the big shot. Where would you put Tyrese Halliburton? There's guys that maybe you would think would be ahead of him. Let's say like LBJ, LeBron James. I might say Halliburton might be a little more clutch than him. There are guys.
LeBron been real clutch. That's wild. LeBron been clutch too. Like
everybody think LeBron eventually made it. He got to that point. Like
me off the rip. Yeah, I got you.
Like to me, at the age and the level Tyrese Halliburton is at, and his ability, his stature is more impressive, maybe. But LeBron, I remember he hit that game winner against Orlando in the finals. But before that, LeBron didn't really have that sort of reputation. He didn't have that reputation like
he
Kobe
didn't.
did.
He didn't.
Well, even Kobe airballed early on too. But I mean, Tyrese, he's different. I'm just saying, I don't want to make an argument about who he's better than. But in terms of clutch, we got to start thinking about him, putting him up there with the top all-time clutch guys in history.
He's been clutch. So I don't know if he's the all-time clutch dude, because like I feel like it's still like a short body of work. It hasn't been a big body of work yet. Like he's had like 3 postseason clutch. I mean, he's been clutch this postseason. I ain't gonna hold you. He's been very clutch this postseason. Like that's like, for instance, like Nick Van Exel was super clutch in the postseason, but nobody's gonna call him the most clutch person in the NBA. Like in that time frame. Like I'm not gonna be like a creature of habit. Like it's still a career. Like there's still more to his legendary status in terms of clutch. Like I'm not gonna put him in the level of those other individuals because I still think it's too soon. But he was clutch. He's clutch. Robert Horry is super clutch. Do I put him on that category? Like I'm being real. Like you don't want to say
different. It's a little different.
I'm just saying, like, what are we calling? Like, what are we doing?
It depends on how you play the game. So, like, to me, Robert Horry falls in the same category as like a Steve Kerr. Somebody that if he spots up,
he's not
Judge Bushler heard a game winner because he was open. You know what I'm saying?
No, facts. I got you.
West, he would like LeBron would always find the right guy in that moment. I would say that's where LeBron was clutch. He would find a Chris Bosh. He would find his wing guys. He would find Boobie. He found guys that hit the shot. Tyrese can do both. He can distribute in those moments and he can hit those shots. He's very unique. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if we can compare him to the all-time greats. And when you think of clutch shooters in history and those who were superstars in the past, like MJ is probably one of the ones that, is going to be the top of everybody's list. But when you think about currently in the league, I think about guys like Dame. Dame is clutch.
Dame is clutch. Like Dame is super clutch.
Super clutch. I say Tyrese is maybe he's creeping to that level.
I don't know if I don't think Tyrese is Dame clutch. Like that's a different.
I say he's creeping to that level with this performance.
I think he has a good run. I think he's having a good run. Like I'm not going to
New York now in the finals, man.
The one he doubled in that joint. They didn't call it, but like
MJ pushed Russell off.
A double and a push is just two totally different things. You know this is a hooper.
It's a call. It's a missed call, bro. It's the same.
Like a double and a push is totally 2 different things. You know this is a hooper, and you know this is a hooper. A push off.
I would be mad because of missed call. Period.
No. A double and a push off are 2 different things. A push off is like a double is elementary. That's how I look at it. A double is an elementary call. That's like a travel. That's like you walking with that's an elementary call. Like a double, and truth be told, I would say this: a double is worse than travel. Like to call, like you should call a double.
I agree, but I think if we narrow it down to that type of stuff, then everybody will have issues, bro. Because
double,
we as Wizards fans, come on, where my guy Taj at? Where like the dude LeBron traveled multiple times when they beat the Wizards, multiple times. So missed calls happening.
LeBron traveled like crazy. No, I know. I'm just saying in terms of like I would be pissed off in general in life if you don't call it double. Like in double, because I feel like a double is so point blank. Like a travel nowadays, they try to like make excuses for travel. Like you know what I mean? Like they make excuses for travel. Like if you do a stop, it's the travel. Like that's not a travel. Like if you jump and hop, that's 2 steps. Like they make so many different remix rules for travel. Like a double is like still hasn't changed. Like a double, you touch it, you let it go. Like you know what I'm saying. Like you can't dribble again. Like that's basketball. You know what I'm saying. But like no, you're right. And all jokes aside, I get your point. Like he's been super clutch. I'm not taking that away from him. He's been super clutch. Like. And he's got a flair for the dramatic. Like he's not scared of the moment, which I do appreciate. Like that shot. Like I'm questioning like why Lou Dort wasn't on that play because Dort was strapping him up. They had the other Wallace. Was it Wallace on him? Like I think Wallace was on him on that shot, and because Dort was on him, and he couldn't get nowhere with Dort. I was kind of wondering why like Wallace was on him but not Dort.
Watch Indiana Jones. That's funny. Listen,
what you say?
I'm just saying like if Tyrese Halliburton wins, whether we call him a superstar now, we can debate whether he's one of the most.
If he wins, I think he could be. I think he should become a superstar.
But he will go down as a legend, and this will make
facts, Brody.
This will
Facts.
make him like at least second ballot if he wins this finals with the
Second ballot what? Second ballot what? He's already gonna be a Hall of Famer. NBA Hall of Fame is easy. He's already a Hall of Famer. NBA Hall of Fame is easy. Basketball Hall of Fame is easy. Christian Laettner's in the Basketball Hall of Fame, bro. Like no.
Basketball.
Yeah,
Halliburton's
gonna be Hall of Fame. Yeah, his body work will give him the Hall of Fame. Believe me.
So
that's not a thing.
Just wondering. So you mentioned Chet Holmgren. You mentioned no, you didn't mention him. I'm sorry. You did mention Lou Dort. You mentioned guys.
Dort played well. He played well.
Yeah. Mainly that are part of that just amazing cast of players. I don't want to call them a supporting cast. I think that they're just an amazing cast as a group. Yeah. And if we have to pick one, of course, I agree with you. Chet is probably going to step up the most. But
he got step up. That was terrible. He played soft. I watched. He played very soft.
I wouldn't be shocked again if they're not panicked by this because of what we're saying. There's this many questions. I feel like they're still confident they can be in the end. They have the better team. I think we all saw that.
I think that he got to continue to win. Oh no, NBA Hall of Fame is trash. Like basketball Hall of Fame is not like NFL. Like you can make the Hall of Fame he can. You don't got to win a championship. He can still be if he can do 10, 6, 7 years. McGrady is the McGrady in yet?
I'm not sure. He never made out of the first round. I know that.
Yeah, I think McGrady's like about to be like. There's some guys you'd be surprised is about to make it. So I'm not gonna do that. Penny made the Hall of Fame, and I love Penny. But did Penny make the Basketball Hall of Fame? I believe he did, right? I'm not sure.
I can't verify that.
If Penny made the Basketball Hall of Fame, Grant Hill was injured. He was caught. That's Duke. That's Duke Grant Hill. So that doesn't count. It's Duke Grant Hill combined with Grant Hill in the NBA. Is Grant Hill's college career warrant an NBA like a Basketball Hall of Fame?
Well, see, Grant Hill. If you combine the body of work, yes, that's the criteria is so different.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. That's what I'm saying.
Penny Hardaway last year went into the Hall of Fame.
Thank you. I thought so. So that's what I'm saying.
No. I'm sorry. He was nominated. He has not been selected.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Paul said no.
He did not go in. So, no, I don't know. Did Tracy
McGrady make it?
I'm looking now.
Look at Tracy. I feel like Tracy made it. Like I could be wrong. I feel like Tracy made it. It's not a knock on Tracy. I'm just feeling like Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yes, in 2017.
Tracy made it. So I thought so.
7-time All-Star, 50.
Yeah. So I'm not. I know what I'm talking about. Like like that's not a thing. Like you don't have to. As long as you got like you stack 5 years of dominance, you're good. 5 years of good basketball, you're good.
Well, I think I agree with Paul to a degree. I think it might be a little premature. We saying Halliburton at this stage without a title is
he will be. He don't need a title. He will if he continues to do what he's doing, and he's going to continue to do what he's doing. He's going to be in the Hall. If he gives you 3-4 years of this, he's going to make the Hall of Fame. Basketball Hall of Fame is not what. It's not that. It's not that. It's just not that. Bobby Hurley's in the Hall of Fame, I believe.
Yeah, probably based more of college. I think with the criteria being different, I respect that point with the criteria.
I'm saying like, but if you tell me in general, Bobby Hurley and Tyrese, who's more important? Like your mindset is going to make you automatically think that Halliburton should be on the Hall of Fame over Bobby Hurley.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see how this all.
That's all I'm saying. Like that's why I don't get into Basketball Hall because I think people compare it to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, which is so hard to get into. Like you gotta put in work. I don't never talk about Basketball Hall of Fame because it's totally different.
So on the flip side, we talking about Tyrese Halliburton for obvious reasons with the shot he hit tonight, with the playoff run he's had. What does a game like this do in terms of impact for our MVP, SGA? What is
he got to play better?
And what will a finals win do for his legacy? Many have talked about where he's stack up, because of how his career started. The grind that he's put in to get himself to this position has been phenomenal. I think it's very unique in comparison to anybody else I can think of, where somebody started off on a team where they weren't even considered a top guy on the team to go and become league MVP. I don't think you've seen anybody like that. Usually people they're already elite and they stay elite and they continue to elevate. But this dude, nobody would have ever predicted that he would have became an NBA MVP. And now he's in the finals. I think that if you talk about legacies already being built and intact, I think he's the definition, even more than Halliburton.
Yeah.
But this could hurt because he's going to have to close out a team that is difficult with the style of basketball they play, with the way they keep attack and the pieces they have.
Yeah, actually, Paul, this is actually false. They actually shoot the three better than OKC than the Pacers. The Pacers are having a good run in the postseason. That's actually a false statement. Their shooters are really good. They got a bunch of shooters actually. So that's a good legacy. I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, like he's straight. Like he's straight. He's gonna be all right one way or the other. Like within his skill set, his ball, the way he plays basketball, he's gonna be straight. Like how he bounces back from game 1 to game 2. I think if all the great players, you gotta take onus of it. Yeah, they shoot better, Paul. Yeah, they shoot better. Naismith is having a good playoff run, but he's not a better shooter than some of these guys. Like they're just hot in the postseason. Nesmith. He doesn't shoot this well. He doesn't shoot this well in the regular season. He's just shooting, but in consistency, like OKC has a better shooting squad. So to your point, like I feel like if you're talking about if you're a great player, you gotta look at the situation and say it's time for me to kind of. You gotta now adapt. Like I gotta play better. Like I feel like Halliburton. I'm looking at the stats right now. I believe he was Halliburton. Sorry, he was 14 for 30 from the field. I'm talking about
SGA
Alexander SGA. All right, so it's like he's gonna have to play better because it's not. And I said this. It's different from Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, they forced him to take some difficult shots, and they use length. SGA got to his spots. He was missing shots. Like he got separation. He got his shots. He just missed his shots. Like he got to the corner. Like even the shot before Halliburton made his shot. That was an easy shot for SGA. He just missed the shot. It wasn't a contested shot. He missed the shot. Like he's deadly from that range. He missed that shot. So he's gonna have to look at himself and be more efficient as a basketball player. Because again, 14 for 30 is not a bad percentage when you're shooting that many times. It's not a horrible percentage. It's under 50%. Like the goal is to be at 50%. But the shot quality he got, he's supposed to have a better percentage. Because the shot quality, he had good shots in that situation. And for him to be 14 for 30 with the shots he did have, he's got to play better. And I think that's something I feel like if anything, what's going to bother him, he's going to say, I put a lot of points on the board. I feel like he's going to think that internally. So to what you're saying, what he's going to ask himself, he I left a lot of points out there. Like I had 30, he had 38. I could have had 45, 50 if the shots I had, the quality of shots. I should have had 45, 50. 38 was, I got that. But I should have had 45, 50.
Yeah. Rebounds, another area I'm looking at right now. 56 rebounds for the Pacers, team rebounds, 39 for OKC.
They went smaller. Siakam was doing some work on the boards. And Turner too. I feel like Turner kind of woke up and said, I'm here. Because again, Turner wasn't playing this well against Cat and them. He wasn't playing this well in prior series. This is the Turner. And I said this when I was talking to one of our mutual homie, and I said this to him. I was like, Turner is a player that has so much ability and never really tapped into what he could truly be. And he's a big who can shoot the three. He's got length, got height, got size, but I feel like he never tried to go take his game to the next level. So I think to your point, I think that to me, an unsung hero for the Pacers in this game is Miles Turner. I thought he played a tremendous game. He had big threes, big shots. When the Pacers were when OKC was trying to push the lead up, he would hit a occasional three. He get an occasional steal in the post with a layup. He played really good basketball. Other than if you look at the consistency of this team in the postseason, you look at the guys who always Siakam typically always produces. Tyrese Halliburton always produces. Halliburton, was 6 for 13 from the field. Didn't shoot 2 for 7 from 3. Didn't shoot particularly well. He always, as a point guard, he did his job, but he made the big shot, right? So he always produces one way or the other. You got Nesmith. It's Nesmith, right? Am I saying correctly? Nesmith hits the corner three. Hits his threes. He's still consistently is hitting shots in the postseason. You got Nembhard who plays a tough. Those dudes typically give you those contributions. Given this team that contribution in the postseason. To me, I think Turner kind of took his game to the next level in this game, which put them over the top.
Wole, give me. I got to step away for 1 second, but I want to ask this question because I put it out on Twitter. What do you think about the matchup? I'll let you answer. I'll be right back. What do you think about the matchup between Caruso and TJ McConnell?
I think it's even. I think we talked about me and Justin on the other show. We talked about this. I think that matchup has like both of those dudes play with fight and grit. I thought for most of the game, I thought Caruso outplayed McConnell. I thought Caruso played better defense. When McConnell had big shots, he had big set shots, but they both sparked this team. They sparked their teams. Caruso, solid player. McConnell, solid player. I love both of those players. I think they're really good basketball players. Paul said, do y'all think OKC can keep up with the Pacers because this game has been Pacers' blueprint for winning? Yeah, I think so. I think if you look again, Paul, I think if you look at this game, they didn't make they missed shots they were supposed to make. I think they played with their food because the Pacers, the OKC likes to run. They like to run as well. You know what I'm saying? And they got dudes who they don't have to rely on. They don't have to rely on SGA. You know what I mean? I feel like they can run the same pace, but I still think like when you have a point guard like Halliburton who sets the tone, it does make. I guess you could give favor to the Pacers in that aspect because Halliburton doesn't need to score 30 points for them to kind of keep up, keep the pace or whatever, or keep or he just has to go 30 points for them to win the basketball game. So to your point, like when they're running, you got that point guard. And Paul, because you coach ball, when you got a point guard who can set the tone, it's important, bro. Like that makes it everything. Like Halliburton sets the tone. George said, what George say? OKC needed to slow down on offense and make the Pacers score against their half. I agree with that. The Pacers half court isn't that great. That is the truth. Their half court isn't that great, but I don't think that OKC needs to slow down. I think they need to take better shots when they're running. Like I felt, I saw like a bunch. Wiggins took an ill-advised shot. Wallace took some wild shots. Like know who you got to go to. Like know who your dogs are down the stretch. I'm not, for instance, if I'm playing with LeBron James, I'm not, and we're like, I'm not going to force the shot. When I got LeBron, I'm gonna kick it to LeBron because LeBron's a better player than me, and I'm gonna let him work. And then if I get open, and I'm gonna work off of LeBron, and hopefully I get an open shot, and then I can knock that shot down. You had guys who weren't the main targets going at it like they were like they were SGA, which is again it was another issue. But when you have a point guard, that's when we get credit about Tyrese Halliburton, who sets the tone, who say, you know what? No, I'm gonna give the ball to the right person. He hits Siakam on a roll for an easy lay and a dunk. Like Halliburton controlled the game as a point guard, which I think is very important when you're trying to win championship, when you're trying to play championship basketball. What else we got here? What did my man? I feel like I didn't hear my man Taj had something to say. I didn't showcase Taj. Did I have Taj? I thought I saw Taj. Taj, you had a comment. Put it back out here on the stream. Yeah, George said, yeah, this is big. Like Paul said it. He went small towards the end. Yeah, because I think this is a key issue too, man. Like having a championship coach like George Carlisle, and thanks Paul for this. Like George Carlisle is one of the best coaches in basketball, and it's just to see like just how he sets up and counters some of the things that this team like every his opponents do is something special. Like he has outcoached everybody in the finals, and you're seeing it right now. Game one, you got to give the knock to Carlisle. Like he is definitely working it right now. Todd, something told me to put money on the Pacers tonight. Yeah, the Pacers. I think someone said this like on our pregame, our preview show. Man, the Pacers have won every game one, which is amazing, man. Right? Every game one. Like OKC is the better. If you watch this as a basketball, as a hooper, or watch it as a basketball fan, like like just watching it, OKC has been like is the better team in this matchup. Like it ain't like the better team. Like when they were up 13, it felt like 20, but they didn't close it. Like you got to close it when you got a team on the ropes, you got to close it. Like you got to close it, and they didn't close it. I won't say that because Jalen Williams had good shots. Lou Dort had open shots. They didn't allow. They tried to play SGA and they doubled every once in a while. He just missed them shots. Lou Dort was getting open shots from the corner, So he got shot. He had 15. So he got shots. So I wouldn't say that, Paul. I just felt like, let me be real with you. Them dudes just ain't produced. Like, well, not them dudes. Lou Dort produced. I'm gonna be real. SGA ain't produced. And I know you look at his stat line, you can be like, he produced. But like in basketball, in certain situations in the game, he didn't come up clutch when they needed him. If that makes any sense. Like sometimes we look at the stat line, the stat button, he's like 38 points. Oh, he came to play. But when they needed him down the stretch to close the game out, he ain't closed the game out. And he got the shots he wanted. Like he got the shots he wanted.
I trust your judgment. You know why? Because you're so objective, and you are SGA fan too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You like the way you like both teams. You don't have no dog in the fight. I trust.
No, I don't. No, I don't have no dog in the fight.
There's no bias on your part.
No, I don't know no bias whatsoever. Like I think that, and it's everything came to fruition. What I said, like Tyrese Halliburton was going to have a struggle shooting the ball because this is the best team he's gotten to see defensively. Like he's got different bodies. They're going to be pressing him throughout. So he's going to have nights where he's not going to have open shots and he's not going to feel comfortable. Like he's going to have Caruso. He's going to have Lou Dort is Lou Dort played an amazing defensive game. Like if I'm OKC's coach, like I'm questioning why Lou Dort wasn't on him on Halliburton on that last play. Like that's who he should have been on. Like we know that. Like that's the question I'm gonna have for myself. Like I'm gonna say that I messed up. I should have had Dort on Halliburton right there. But at the end of the day, like that's where. But you see how it is. Like Siakam, I was surprised. I ain't gonna lie. I was surprised Siakam was able to still get loose. I thought the height and the length and the way, like OKC, if they switch, those dudes can still defend. Like, because OKC can defend from their five can straight defend. Like even their best player Shea can defend. When you look at the Pacers, like they got some like Halliburton's not a great defender. Miles Turner's a good shot blocker, but you can take advantage of him. Siakam is a decent defender, but I think he's better. He's not as good as he used to be. You know what I mean? Like, so I just felt like I thought Siakam surprised me. That's the one dude I did surprise that I thought that he got out. I think Nesmith, the way he plays basketball, I'm not like I said Rick Carlisle. Thank you. I said George Carlisle. Rick Carlisle earlier. Yeah, Rick Carlisle. But Siakam, I was surprised he was able to get money like that. Like the other players, I feel like Nesmith and even I think Nembhard. I think Nembhard's gonna have some. He's gonna have some big games in Indy. I think he'll struggle in OKC though. I think he'll have some big games in Indy though.
Yeah, I'm not sure when it comes to matchups at the end of the game. Yeah. If there would be a major coaching adjustment on the side of OKC, to be honest with you, I think they're still confident in what they do, but still in that moment, you're going to be second guessing. You're going to have hindsight to see what could we have done differently. You have to do at the end of every game, whether you win or whether you lose. And I think that's a valid question. It's just that do you stay the course because this is what's got you here, and that was just maybe one mishap. Mm-hmm. How confident are you that OKC doesn't overthink this from a coaching perspective and try to implement too many changes and just say, you know what, guys, let's go 4 quarters. We shouldn't even have been in that position anyway because we let our foot off the gas. I think they learn from it. And I think that they're capable of still winning this series, probably now in 6 instead of 5, like I originally thought.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I don't think the coaching staff changes what they've done, what they try to do defensively or offensively. But I do think that if you're an individual player, you have to kind of assess what you did though. Like you got to assess how you play ball. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, the stuff that Wallace was doing, I was like, dude, you weird. You taking you go into the teeth of the defense and you're throwing off wild left hand shots. Like this is the NBA Finals. This is not a regular season basketball game. Like this is the NBA Finals, bro. Like this is not street ball. We're not hooping around. You ain't hooping with your homies. You hooping. This is the NBA Finals. So I do think individually speaking, I think they got to check themselves. I don't think strategically, they don't have to change anything. I think what they did strategically was fine. OKC, like the Pacers scored scored 111. Like they've been scoring high anyway in the postseason. Like 111 is fine. That's fine. You know what I mean? And they other than the fourth quarter, they strapped them up pretty well. The fourth quarter is when they kind of let them go astray. But but also to your point, Ray, and you said it, they didn't match Indy's desperateness in the fourth. They were content. Like I'm being real. OKC was content and confident, and they felt like they had it. Indy was desperate. They wanted it. Two totally different things.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what we said it came down to. And it showed in certain areas like Wole, the 50-50 balls. The little things the Pacers did better, and they beat up OKC on the boards. Man, I think the ending may have saved NBA ratings.
I do think so. To your point, Ray, I do. I think that like word of mouth. I don't know. Like I ain't gonna lie. Where I was at, me and Will was talking about this. Our homie, like we were talking about this. Like folks weren't watching the finals like that, right? The real talk. It wasn't like folks weren't out there for it. It wasn't yeah. And so we were like, dang, this is not the NBA. And usually we do this every year. And folks, like it's been way more folks the last couple years than this year. And so it lets you know, like Boston was in the finals last year. The crowd was kind of hyped for Boston, right? The year before that, I believe it was it Golden State the year before that? Or was it before that? I'm not sure. Milwaukee or Golden State, whatever. Like this finals was not the most like, oh, we're going out to watch the NBA finals and hang out. It wasn't that type of thing. So let me know. It gave me a gauge on, all right, folks aren't excited about this. You know what I mean? So I do think that if word of mouth, if people were like, yo, this game one was kind of dope. We got folks got to tune in. Maybe it could kind of save the ratings, like what you're saying, Ray, for the finals. Because I think it could be a really good in terms of like drama, the scene, basketball. If you're a basketball hooper, you love basketball. Like the climax of I think it has potential. It definitely does have potential.
Were you paying attention to who was in the crowd tonight?
No, not at all. I don't pay attention to that stuff.
And see, that's the interesting element. When you watch games in LA and New York and you see Jack Nicklaus and you see Spike Lee, when you see actors, actresses, former players, it's just we don't have that here, man. It's a lot that's wrong with it. I even said that with the shift in NBA coverage next season, and the guys that are on TNT now, where they'll be next year, I felt like that element would have helped tonight. Overall, for hoop heads, I've been saying all along, it's a good product, but in terms of the NBA and what they're looking to accomplish, I think that they need some work. And this game, the ending may have helped. We'll find out. These two markets are strong for basketball and sports in general, but I don't know if it's enough. When you talk about being out in a public setting and people not paying attention, I think that that's valid as to what we expect when it comes to OKC versus the Pacers. And that's where I have to question Mr. Halliburton, going back to our earlier discussion, because if he's not must-see TV like a typical superstar is, so he's got to get to that point. And neither is SGA, just not the sexiest name. So something they're going to look at. But for us tonight and for everybody who's tuning in right now, you probably enjoyed this game. The intrigue was dope. But the ESPN NBA team, I'm reading what he has up here, George, doesn't have the chemistry a TNT team does. Yeah, I agree. And that's because it's always moving parts. Always they're trying to figure it out. Jeff Van Gundy, Mark Jackson, these guys aren't there no more. Why? I don't understand.
They were great.
I don't understand it. It's interesting. We didn't grow up like this. George, Paul, all our guys. Like, we didn't grow up like this. We grew up with Steve Snapper and Bill Walton. We grew up with Marv Albert, Mike Fratello. We had guys that they were going to help carry that broadcast, even if the two teams playing weren't your favorite teams. We could watch Utah versus San Antonio because these guys knew their stuff and they were entertaining and they had chemistry, George. I totally agree. The NBA needs work, daggone it. It's not the NFL. It's not it.
Preach.
It's a problem.
I'm gonna say this. Like, it's no preach, bro. You speaking gospel right now with that stuff. The whole scene of it, the ESPN thing, like I don't want to put no. I ain't gonna be phony, y'all. You got Stephen A. Smith on that joint, man, bro. It is what it is, bro. I'm sorry. We need real basketball talk. We don't need characters. We need real, characters to a point where they had substance in the game. Like Shaq, the reason why Shaq, Kenny, and them work because they played the game. I'm sorry, the way they played the game. So and they played it at a high level. Like Shaq and Barkley played at a high level. Kenny was a champion. It works. It kind of worked, and he was Kenny Smith was a contributor as a champion. You know what I'm saying? So it works. It works, and the chemistry works. Go ahead, Ray. You want to say something?
I was going to let you finish. I'm just saying to myself, it's the overall production. Here's why. You can plug Jamal Crawford in, Candace Parker.
They are. I heard.
The flow. Why is Kendrick Perkins, and I'm not saying he doesn't do a great job, but why is he still there, but like a Jalen Rose isn't? Something
Bruh, you already said it for me. That's what I'm saying. Who's a well-spoken dude? I'm with you. Who's a well-spoken dude? Jalen Rose is a well-spoken dude. Has more credibility than Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick Perkins wants to make himself into somebody else. I don't want to go into like this diatribe of like why I dislike these individuals because I can go on for a minute. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can go on for a minute. But because I feel like they want to be bigger than the basketball players are bigger than the game. That's the problem. That is the problem. While Kenny, like I know people want to say like Kenny Barkley and they're not really trying to be bigger than them. They just giving you their like I feel like they're more organic and real. That's the thing. I feel like Kenny, Barkley, Shaq, and Ernie, they're like just really shooting the breeze and being organic. They're being who they are, like as a team. Like that's who they are. I feel like the other individuals, they're trying for clickbait. They actually are trying for clickbait. That's what they want.
Production and then respect. When Shaq is critical of someone, you may not agree with him. You may not agree with Charles. But you respect what they accomplish.
You respect them.
Kendrick Perkins said something, and people go off the deep end because they feel like, dude, who are you? KD is one of the main examples. He can't stand a lot of his takes because he's saying, dude, you on my team. I know who you were as a player. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh.
Which makes Draymond, he's been with TNT, it makes him an interesting media member for the simple fact that he's had a lot of success and he has a lot of hot takes. Kendrick Perkins, in respect to him, he's had a lot of success as well. But I'm just saying in terms of
a lot of success as a basketball player,
gameplay, and then the guys on set, it's a problem right now.
But you know what's the difference between Kendrick Perkins and Draymond? And you know I'm not the biggest Draymond person though. Is that Kendrick Perkins makes himself out to be something that he's not, and Draymond doesn't do that. He just talk like Draymond. Draymond ain't out there talking bad about Steph. Draymond ain't out there talking bad about Clay. The dudes who made him and who he is, who he's played with. Draymond out there talking about KD. I'm not Draymond. I mean, Kendrick Perkins out there talking about KD for real. Like on some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like Draymond did too, but Draymond was coming from a place where I have two dudes I won a championship with. You know what I'm saying? I play with these same two dudes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was more of like, and it wasn't all some basketball stuff. Draymond didn't say I was a leader over Steph. I'm a leader over KD. He ain't saying that. But you got like Kendrick Perkins, and this is the thing. Like Draymond has way more, and again, I'm not the biggest Draymond fan, but he has way more clout in terms of winning championships than like a Kendrick Perkins. And he's talking about KD like he's won multiple championships, like he's the reason why for everything. And we know if you watch it, and look, man, he a better basketball player than me. I know if Kendrick Perkins played me one-on-one, he'd probably beat me. You know what I'm saying? Because he played in the league, and I respect anybody who got in the league. I respect anybody who got in the league. But in terms of your circle in the NBA, you talking like you was one of them, and you not one of them. Like you was you're a role player, not an all-star role player. You're a role player. Like Draymond was an all-star role player. Like it or not, he's an all-star, all-world role player. That's what he was. That's what he is. Sorry. But you're talking about like you a star. That's the problem.
To me, if it works, it works. It's just right now when we talk about the overall product of the NBA Finals, you need your coverage to be on point because what factors come into play in terms of the world of streaming now and why people aren't viewing as much. But I don't want to make it too much about what's not basketball related. I'm just sharing my thoughts on the overall product.
We're shooting the breeze, bro.
And these are my takeaways, you know. But the game tonight was a well played game.
It was
2 tough teams, 2 complete teams. There's nobody leaps and bounds better than one another, and they're both inexperienced, youthful. Both have good coaches. One obviously stronger, more experienced coach, but it's a dope look. It's just for what we're talking about, and for basketball at large, and for what that audience, like you said, you're trying to reach that sort of superstar audience you're trying to bring in. Monica McNutt, that's that's a homie. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if that would change it. One person, but yeah,
nobody's gonna change it.
She just, she's with the Knicks, so up until then, she couldn't even provide cover. She may join the team this final. I doubt it though, because I doubt they'll make a changes late. But yeah, that would help.
Nothing changing that
I
joint,
don't know.
dog. Nothing changing that joint.
We had things different. We really did. Maybe we're biased, with Bob Costas and others who
Man,
had
there you
nothing to
go.
do with basketball. We just had good production.
Man, Peter Vesey, man, everything was good, bro.
It did. It made a big difference.
Man, Peter Vesey, I can't wait to NBC. I can't wait to it on NBC. I'm really excited to see how their product is. But yeah, like what stood out to me in this whole game, man, was just like Ray said. I was surprised the Pacers. I was surprised the Pacers won. Won't even hold you. Surprised that the Pacers stuck around into that fourth quarter to do what they did. But also, I was surprised at the play of of Holmgren. I thought he would play a lot better than what he did. You know what I mean? Because I thought he had a good postseason run. So I was surprised, and I was surprised at the way he played. Everything else, though, I don't think just one thing I do disagree with. I think the OKC is a far better team. If I watch it from basketball sense, one quarter doesn't depict what I saw. 3 quarters, was something about how a team can maintain a lead without really blowing you out. They maintain lead without blowing you out. It wasn't the Pacers would cut it to 5. They just stretched that joint to 13. Wasn't sweating it. They cut it to 5-7. They stretched it back to 13. Wasn't even sweating it. It wasn't a hard push it to 13 or push it to whatever. So it's almost, I'm gonna hold you. It's almost like when the Lakers took when the Sixers took game 1. You know what I mean? When AI hit the shot over Tyronn Lue, whatever. It's like that. The Lakers felt confident they were the better team, but they just Tyronn Lue, AI was AI that day. It just was what it was. So that's how I felt watching this joint. It wasn't I felt the Pacers ever had true momentum. The fourth quarters when they turned up. You know what I'm saying? It's when they turned up. But I never felt they were the better team in any stretch anywhere in that game. I told the we're yo, the Pacers are the OKC is just better. They're better than this team. But I was they keeping them around. They playing with their food. They keeping them around. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. It was New York was different. That series against New York, New York, they took certain things away from their best player. They took I love Jalen Brunson, but they took certain things away from Jalen. Even in the game 1, they took certain things away from Jalen Brunson. You know what I'm saying? They didn't take nothing away from Shea. They would you say this game all right, you could say they did a good job against Holmgren, I guess. You could say that, but their 2 best players are Jalen Williams and whatever. Jalen Williams was on 6 for 19, I believe, from the field or something like that. But he could have played better. He missed some chippies. Those dudes got open shots. Their best players got open shots. So it's not it wasn't like the Knicks series. They didn't really take something away. Those dudes just missed shots. There's different levels to it. They missed shots. But I am interested to see how they respond though in game 2. I feel what would be your prediction in game 2?
I expect OKC to bounce back. Period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I expect them to bounce back, but I do think that if I'm Indiana, I'm getting greedy, bro, and because I feel you got to try to play on the mental. You got to play on the mental. Their mental right now is yo, we're desperate. We can't lose 2 in a row. The Knicks, you got to play on that. I think the Pacers and Carlisle they do a great job in there. I think Rick Carlisle has an opportunity to kind of because I think he's the better coach in this matchup. I'm not making an argument. I'm making it up. I think he's the better coach in this matchup. George and Peter Vesey was breaking huge stories during
Definitely more
being real
experience for
home.
sure.
He was.
It's gonna be interesting. Peter
Yeah.
Vesey.
You said if OKC is going to win this 4-1, then they should blast the Pacers in a million pieces. I agree with that. It should be a big lead. They're gonna win this 3 games, and when they have 4 games to win, they're gonna have to blow them out. They're gonna have to create doubt in Indy, because right now Indy they're super confident. They have to create doubt. I agree with that.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I agree.
Oh, the Pacers will win game 2 because they will not turn the ball over as much as.
That's gonna be interesting.
Paul, man, you stay doubting the OKC though. Paul, you doubted them in that Minnesota series. You said Minnesota will win in 6. Can't stop. You gotta stop doubting OKC, bro. You gotta stop doing it, bro. I told you the best player in basketball is Shea. So right now, so you gotta stop doing that, Paul. I feel like you're trying to even out your what you did with Minnesota. I feel you, bro. I feel you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well.
You know what I'm saying? OKC play defense too, bro. I'm keep trying to tell you, them turnovers, OKC straps. They don't. But I'm gonna be real, low key, the Pacers have been playing hella defense in the postseason too. The Pacers have been playing hella defense. But yeah, man, tune in. We're gonna probably try to do. Ray, you available Saturday for another post game, bro?
I don't think so.
Man, I ain't sure either. I may try to get somebody. I ain't sure either. I ain't sure I am either. But I'm gonna see. We may do a post game too. I ain't sure yet though. Ray and I aren't. I'm not sure. I'm gonna hold you. They're not Superman, bro. Stop it. Stop doing that, bro. You keep doing that. You keep failing yourself. That's why I keep trying. And I don't want to keep chatting you about in this and 6 and 7. I don't want to do that, man. Stop doing that, bro. I don't want to be in your DMs, bro, and saying like, Paul, what you say? Stop. Chill out, man. Chill out. People want these post games. All right, I'm gonna see what I can do, George. I'm gonna see what I can do, my guy. I'm gonna see what I can do. But anyway, before that, we have now hit super chat status. So eventually, y'all be like, hey, not just right. Hey, when we have a chat, hit us with a super chat, bro. Hit us super chat. Support the cause. Y'all know we've been doing this for a while. We've been trying to get y'all good content. So you out there, hit us with a super chat. We still going to one way or the other. We're going to still display your comments. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we out here now. We've qualified. You know what I'm saying? Great to do the great work by Ray. You know what I'm saying as well. You know, with some boxing stuff, doing some his HBCU stuff. You know what I'm saying? Ray's doing great work and helping us get to this level. And y'all too, man, for continue to pull up for some of these lives we've been doing. I appreciate y'all, man, because y'all part of this whole process. So I'm not going to take that away from y'all. Y'all definitely a part of this whole process and this whole movement. But yeah, man, anytime we out here, we qualify for it now. Oh, yeah, okay, bet. Yeah, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Anytime we go live on this platform in this stream, just feel free to hit us up with a super chat. Also, if you're new to our YouTube channel, man, hit the red subscribe button. Also, like this video again. This does well for since it's an NBA topic, NBA Finals topic, it does well for NBA basketball content for us. Put us up on the algorithm. So anytime folks want to see NBA talk, they now know to come to the Urban Sports as well. So hit us with a like as well for this, and also subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Tune in, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports, and also check out our website, which is urbansportscene.com. Ray, anything you want to say before we sign off, bro?
I'm good, bro. Good stuff. It was fun talking about the finals, the production, these matchups, the growing superstars of the league or lack thereof. It was dope. Hopefully we can do it again throughout this finals, depending on how long it lasts.
Definitely. Also, Shea may not be a complete superstar either. So just FYI, because Shea's not known by everybody. So let that be known as well. All right, y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene for ages. You dig? Deuces. We are out.